So now that you guys understand that you need to start valuing your time, let's move on to the next principle. The next principle is based on Newton's third law. Okay, Newton's third law. If you guys do not know Sir Isaac Newton, talked about the law of gravity, very intelligent individual. And he has his laws, right? First law of thermodynamics, second law, blah, blah, blah. And then he has his third law. It's the law that changes the world. And once you understand this law, it's going to help you utilize, if you understand how it applies not only to the universe, but it applies to your life, you'll start realizing that this doesn't just apply to the world, but it applies to you. And the law goes as follows, that for every action in life, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So everything that you put into the world, you'll receive in direct proportion exactly what you put out. So we see, for example, this huge move towards like masculinity and like dudes being like, I'm upset of this at all this like terrible like narrative that's being pushed, all this feminist shit that's being pushed. And what are we getting in direct proportion? We're getting in direct proportion, the masculinity hit, blah, 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 in direct proportion to the energy that we've received, right? So it's the concept of sowing and reaping. So by universal law, and the laws don't change, they're not flexible, the laws don't just do whatever, you can't just play with the laws, these are the laws of the universe. And the law of the universe dictates that for every action, right, for every doing, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if you put in the work and if you sacrifice, you'll receive in direct proportion to your effort, energy, output, and sacrifice. For the energy that you put out, you'll receive the same energy in return. So I see a lot of negativity, a lot of bullshit. I see a lot of people that are complaining. I see a lot of people that criticize, but they ain't doing shit. They're not doing anything to better their lives, nothing, because they don't understand this very basic principle that you, my friend, you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of the decisions that you make. You're in charge of the outcome of your life. You alone. You cannot blame any other one. You can't blame any other person, because when you're on your deathbed, you can't blame fucking Susie. You can't blame fucking Johnny, right? You are to blame. You are to blame for the outcome of your life, right? And I said it once and I'll say it again, that everyone is self-made, but only the rich will admit it. Everyone is self-made, but only the rich will admit it. So now what I've done is I've given power back to you. Boom. There you go, power. I've given you the ultimate freedom to decide the future of your life. That for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That what you sow, you will reap in direct proportion to that which you sowed. You don't plant fucking corn, right? Or you don't plant a watermelon seed and a fucking banana tree or a banana whatever sprouts up. It doesn't work that way, right? You plant apple seeds, you're not going to get an orange tree. You'll get in direct proportion that which you plant. It's very simple. And if it happens in the natural world, and we're part of the natural world, then you need to understand that this principle stands true. And people, right, the system, wants you to believe that you are not in control, that you cannot dictate the circumstances of your life, but you actually can.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick announcement, let you guys know that Ecom Society is finally open. Now, when we started Ecom Society many years ago, we realized that e-commerce was not only one of the greatest opportunities to make money, but it was the future. We realized that most people are spending their time online, they're buying on Amazon, they're buying on TikTok, and this is here to stay. When I started making money in e-commerce in 2017, it was a little bit taboo. It was weird. Not a lot of people knew about it, but today it's normalized. It's obvious. It's real. It exists. Building a Shopify store and making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 online is real. And because of this reality, we have to adapt. We have to learn new skills. We have to find new people and new mentors, new communities. We have to realize that the opportunity is at hand. And if we want to win, we have to capitalize on it. So I decided to put together Ecom Society, a one-stop hub, the only location that you need to get all your resources, all your information, your community, AI tools, supply chain, courses, experts, live streams about e-commerce in one centralized location. And it doesn't matter what niche of e-commerce, whether it's Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok, Amazon FBA, we've aggregated everything in one location for you to simplify it. All you have to do is click the link below, get started, and I'll see you guys inside. It's going to be an epic journey.
You can actually dictate the circumstances of your life. So now the question is, what do I want to reap, right? What do I want? That is the goal. You need to answer that. And that answer isn't going to come easy. You got to sit down and actually ask yourself, what do I want? Okay. Now, what are you willing to do in order to get that? What are you willing to sow in order to get that return? Do you understand that there's books by billionaires that give you literally all the secrets, that give you all the sauce, how to build companies, how to manage and all this shit? You got to learn it, right? You have to learn it. But unless you're willing to learn it, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Guys, I am teaching you how to get rich here. Like, I'm teaching you how to get rich here. Do you understand? So, if you work a job, okay? If you work a job, if you're in school, if you're in high school, if you're in middle school, I don't know who's listening to this. If you're a stay-at-home parent, if you're a mom, you got 3 kids, perfect. Figure out the time that you have in order to accomplish that goal, and make sure that in that time that you have, and everybody has time. I tell people are like, bro, I don't have enough time. What do you mean you don't have enough time? Yeah, the day's not long enough. I mean, bro, you got the same 24 hours I do. Yeah, but I got responsibilities and I got this and I got that. Bro, everything in your life that you've assumed a responsibility for is self-imposed. Let me say that once again. You're not forced to do shit. Okay, now you got kids. Perfect. That was your choice. You got to deal with it. You got a job. You don't have time to do what you want to do. Fucking quit that job or quit complaining. Oh, well, I'm too tired. Bitch. You don't care about your goal. Because if you cared about your goal, you would do anything in order to accomplish it. So now that you have a goal, you have a destination, you know where you want to go, you have the starting point. So what you need to figure out, not what I need to do in the end goal, but what is the first step? What is the first step? That's all you need to know. This is all you need to know. What is the next step? For a lot of you guys, somebody said, what's some good books then? Okay, look up Luke Belmar, or do medium.com/Luke Belmar. I talk about the 11 books that made me rich. Do not hide them. I'm very public about them. Anthony, pin that in the comment section. I don't know if you're still around, Anthony. I haven't seen you in chat in a while. Please pin in the chat the 11 books that made you rich. It's a link. You can look at medium.com/Luke Belmar, the 11 books that made me rich. If somebody wants to pull up the list and pin it here in the chat for everybody to see, that would be good. And then once I get done with the chat, and make sure that somebody comments, all right? Somebody comments the link in the actual video, okay? In the actual video, so that I can pin that shit. Perfect. All right. Is everybody leaving better today than they were yesterday? I hope so, because I'm really empowering you motherfuckers in order to level up at your fullest potential. At your fullest potential. I'm giving you guys the sauce. So, you're not only in control, now you know how to measure your money. You're not going to spend your time, right? You're not going to spend your time doing things that are not going to yield the necessary ROI for your goal. And your goal doesn't just have to be money. It can be anything. If you want to be the best swimmer in the world, well, now you know that your time needs to be spent in the pool. You can't be out here hoeing around and partying if you want to be wearing the fucking gold medal at the end of the next Olympic for swimming the 100 meters, right? You have to get in the fucking pool. A lot of you guys don't want to get in the fucking pool, bro. You don't want to win. But every other person that you see winning around you, you assume that they have the same work ethic that you do, that they have the same skill set that you do, that they have the same network that you do. That's why you don't believe that it's possible. That's why a lot of you guys, many of you guys sit down, look at Luke and he's like, bro, this kid can't be a millionaire at 26. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is impossible. What? Like, it's impossible that he did that. Why? Because you are comparing myself based on your limitations. And let me tell you something, motherfucker. I ain't got no limitations. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Why? Because I told myself so. And I told myself that whatever my goal was, nothing would stop me in order to accomplish it. And most of the time, the world is not stopping you. You are stopping yourself. You just look at the one or two nuances of things that are happening around you, and you're blaming it on that. Oh, well, you know, nicotine is addicting. No. You just have the inability to put it down because you know it's affecting you. Oh, yeah, but it's hard, like, I love girls too much. You love girls more than you love your goal. Therefore, that's what you're doing. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The life that you have is the life that you chose. Whether you admit it or not, the life that you have is the life that you chose. The reason you are where you are today is because of the decisions that you made. So if you want a different life, you have to be willing to make different decisions. You have to be willing to compromise temporary gain for the accomplishment and fulfillment of your goal. That is the name of the game. Without sacrifice, there is no reward. And that is the beauty. All the things that you have to put to bed, all the things that you have to kill in order to resurrect that which you truly want. You need to be willing to sacrifice the temporary for the future. Most of you are not willing to sacrifice who you are today for who you will become. You want to blame everything around you. The circumstances, the bullshit, the inflation, that your parents did this, that the school system that, your age, but you don't sit down and fucking figure it out. You don't want to sit down there and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, what do I have to do? Actually think, what do I have to do to make my goal work? And then you'll realize, oh shit, like, okay, if I want to get fit, all I have to do is eat healthy and go to the gym for a prolonged period of time because the blueprint is there. I just have to do that consistently because I understand that consistency compounds. And if I do it long enough, I will accomplish my goal. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. So most people do not want to assume responsibility. Because I'm a G, I'm circling it back all the way to the beginning. Because winners win and losers lose. If your life is a life of failure, it's because you are a failure. Do you understand? The reason you're poor isn't because you're poor. The reason you're poor is because you are a failure. Money does not make you successful. Money is a byproduct of being successful. The successful person makes money. The unsuccessful person says, oh, well, I'm poor, therefore I can't become successful. No, you are what you choose to be. What you think about and what you do is who you become. So you have to change what you think about, who you hang out with, and what you do with your time, and establish the parameters of your goal and only do the things that will help you accomplish your goal. Do you understand this principle of truth, ladies and gentlemen? I need this shit for all the guys listening. Clip this shit, put it on fucking TikTok. Let's wake these motherfuckers up. So I'm teaching you guys the sauce. I'm teaching you guys how to think like a winner. Like a winner, bro. So don't blame other people, bro. You are responsible, bro. You are responsible. And that's empowering. But the moment you mess up, you have to assume responsibility. Like, oh shit, like I fucking messed up. Oh, I can't go blame anybody else. Like maybe I'm at fault. Right? And that's what the system wants to propagate. It's all pointing fingers, victimhood mentality. It's all the other person. It's the system. It's the society. It's the culture. It's the blah, it's the blah, it's the blah. But it's never you. You are never the fault. You are never the problem. But when you start looking at your actions like, oh shit, well, I didn't wake up on time. I'm not giving 100%. Like I'm going 50% and I'm assuming that other people are trying to hold me down. An imaginary man is trying to hold me down. But shit, like I'm out here eating shit. I'm hanging out with a ton of bums and losers. I'm fucking hoeing around all day. I'm not concentrating, I'm not educating myself, I'm not elevating myself in any way, and you expect life to just come to you by chance? You to get rich by chance? It's just gonna fucking happen to you? What type of fairy tale bullshit life do you live in? No, the life that you have needs to be a life by design. Choose the life that you want and live it based on the blueprints that thousands of people have laid before you of what it takes to be successful. And a few principles are fundamentally true across the board. You need to have the right network, so figure out how to get the right network. You need to have the right education, and you need to be consistent. Consistent. Without a goal, you will not start, but without consistency, you will not finish. Does that make sense? Do you understand? That is the principle and the big difference between being rich and being poor. Because it is not a problem, it is not a virus of the fucking pocket. It's not a disease of the pocket. Being poor and broke is a disease of the mind. Because what you think about and what you do all day long is who you become. You're not a pothead because you smoke weed. You're not a pothead because you like weed. You smoke weed all day, and that makes you a pothead. So don't come to me and be like, yeah, I'm a pothead, I smoke weed, you know, I like my weed. No, you smoke all this weed, therefore you are a what? Pothead. But if you stopped smoking weed and stopped labeling yourself a pothead and started doing something else, then you would be that thing. So a lot of you guys are like, yeah, you know, I'm a loser, bro. I don't have skills. I can't do this. But you ain't doing shit about it. You ain't changing your life. Are you a winner? Perfect. Do what the winners do. Shut the fuck up and do what the winners do. Do what the winners do. Every single time. That is the name of the game. So when you understand this principle, ladies and gentlemen, you will truly become successful.